Welcome guys to Lady Fire's Kitchen, and today I have for you stuffed roast, which in Spanish is pernil estofado. So I have my pernil here is about 3 pounds, okay? And I am going to put everything on my mortero. I'm going to put the dry ingredients first, and I'm just going to call them out. Always, I'm going to give you this tip. Never use garlic that is in a little jar that has the oils in there, and they don't taste the same. Don't even waste your time with that. It's just not good. Just use fresh. Fresh is always better. This is the best. And then you just kind of put it here. And I'm going to add the other ingredients. So I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of salt. In it goes. Dry oregano. Can't get any drier than this. So I'm going to put 1.5 of that. And then we're going to mash that up together. Okay, so this is about the consistency that I'm wanting. Okay, so I had like 8 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of vinegar. This is apple cider. You can use whatever you have. It's all right. And I'm just going to use a little bit of olive oil here. Same thing, 1 teaspoon. And we're going to mix that together. And we are going to actually rub this all over the pork roast, or the pork. So we already mixed this, okay? It's ready to go. So we're just going to make some holes in the pernil, or on the pork, wherever you can. And I'm just going to stick it in there in different areas, and you're just going to rub it all over the place. This one has skin. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you just rub it outside, there's going to be no flavor inside. Be careful with the bones, because you have a bone there, but bones are important because that's what gives flavor. So that is great to have. I just want to have one more here. Okay, so all we're going to do now is start stuffing. Just try to get into every little place that you can insert flavor. You do just that. Just give it a little massage. Alright guys, so I left it marinating for about 30 to an hour, and I'm ready to start frying it. So I'm going to fry it because I want to sear it. So follow me. And like I always say, let's do this. We're going to have a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. And I just want to sear it, okay? I want that fat in the meat to be seared before I put the rest of the ingredients, because if not, it's going to look like grayish. I don't want that. So I'm going to do this as careful as I can, because it is heavy. Alright guys, so I went all over the place, just giving it a good sear. So to me that's good enough. So we're going to add the following ingredients. The next is going to be a whole onion, big onion. Don't cut it in little pieces, because this is going to be cooking for over 2 hours. So just big onion, please. Okay, put it in there. Just add a little olive oil. I always keep it handy. Cook it for about a minute, and then we're going to continue with the rest of the ingredients. Right, so the onions have been cooking for approximately 1 minute. So we're going to add the capers. It's going to be a whole jar of, not a huge jar, but a smaller jar of capers. I'm going to throw them all in, minus the liquid, of course. Make sure to take all the liquid out. Just the capers. This is going to add some sweetness to the dish, which is absolutely delicious pitted prunes. I have approximately 8 of them. Put them all over the plate. So this is like a sweet and salty dish. We're going to add 4 laurel leaves. Put them all over the place here. And last but absolutely not least, because we still have some other ingredients we're going to add, we're going to have 3 cups of water. Okay, so I crank the heat a little bit so that I can get it to boil some. As soon as I see some bubbles and it is boiled, I'm going to cover it, and I will keep it covered for about 2 hours. Well, actually, in an hour, I'm just gonna turn it around so that I can cook the other side, and then another hour. So in 2 hours, we will be right back. So pretty soon, I will be covering this, and it looks just about right. So hey guys, I just moved the pork. I moved it here. It's on medium low, and I'm gonna have it from medium low for 2 hours covered, okay? And then we'll check on that. So while that's cooking, we're gonna make our con gris over here. So I'm gonna take advantage of the time that I'm waiting here so I can make my second dish. So we're going to take 5 slices of thick bacon. Let's not cook it on high. We're gonna cook it on low. Just cut in little pieces. Alright, so now it's nice and bubbly and it's very well cooked. It took probably 3 to 4 minutes. Now I'm going to add half of a big onion, really well chopped. I'm going to cook it for a minute till nice and fragrant. Okay, so there is one ingredient that they may not apply, but I'm applying to mine because I love my sofrito. This is our Trinity sofrito from Puerto Rico. If you would like to know how to make it, I have already made one of the videos about how to make sofrito. Go to that. We probably will put it on the link so you can follow and see where and how to make it, because it adds so much flavor to all of your dishes. So we're going to put 2 big spoons of this. So we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic, fresh garlic, okay? We're going to put it in here. Oh, I'm going to get it out of this. You know me. I take advantage of every little thing. We're going to add it to that too. If you don't have un mortero, pilon, however you call this, chop it with your knife. Just chop it really small. Put it all together. Wow. It's coming along. Another minute. We'll be right back. Okay, we're adding 1 can of tomato sauce, whatever your preference is. So I'm just going to add it to this. Also, Cubans don't add this to it. We love it. Puerto Ricans love adding this, making rice with this, making stews with this. Italians love it too. Okay, and right away, we're going to add half a teaspoon of cumin. You don't have to add it if you don't want to. I just want that extra flavor. And we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. What I do is I put a little bit of salt and then I'll adjust, because we have bacon there, and bacon is already salty. So after I have the rice and I have the beans and everything is in there, then I taste it, and if I need additional salt, then I add it at the end. I'll lower it a little bit because it's a bit high. I'm gonna have it on medium. I'm gonna add 2 cans of my black beans. This is the magic touch right here. This is what makes it all dark. Let it bubble, and then we'll add our rice. Okay, so I have 4 cups of rice. This is medium rice. If it's a small rice, it takes less water. If it's medium, it takes about the same proportion of liquid as rice. And if it's long grain, you're gonna have to add an extra cup. So it is easier if you have medium, because you can just kind of measure from that to the rice and you should be okay. So, but I'm gonna tell you how much water I'm putting in. So let it all in. Okay, so I'm gonna add 1 cup of water with some of the rice that was still remaining there. I'm gonna move and see. Okay guys, I tasted for salt. I don't think it needs anything, but if you taste it and you like more salt to it, you can add a little bit, or a little, maybe like half a teaspoon. I don't want to add anything else because it has great flavor, so I don't want to mess with it at all. I did add it like a quarter more of water. So what I'm waiting on right now, I'm gonna lower it a little bit, like a medium high, let it boil, and let it start drying. And then I have a little trick that I use. My mom showed me this trick. I use aluminum foil when it's almost dry, and you just kind of mix it and it's almost dry. Just get aluminum foil, cover it, because it just gets that moisture. It doesn't escape the pan, and it just falls right back into it, and it makes it cook faster. At least that's what I believe it does. It's just great. So we'll wait until this is a little dry, so we'll show you. So guys, this is the point where it still has some moisture, still wet, see on the edges, but not so much in the middle. This is where I'm going to put a little piece. Don't be afraid, it's not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna put it on the corners like that, so to cover as much as possible. And then you just seal it. And you're just gonna put it like on medium low, almost to just low, okay? And you're just gonna let it cook there for about 20 minutes or so. Go check it, and that's what I'm going to do, and let you know where we're at. Okay guys, so like 10 minutes has passed. I'm just gonna move it around. See, there's still some water here. Here you are. It's not done yet. We're just moving it so we can cook it evenly. And we're going to cover it right back up. All right, guys, 1 hour has gone by, so we are going to turn it so it will cook on the other side. Ooh, look at it. And we're not done. And it smells absolutely delicious. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to burn myself here. There we go. So what's cooking? Good looking. I'm going to cover it up for another hour. Guys, here we go. Ah, look at that. I'm going to pinch it with this so you can see how tender that thing is. I don't have to force it, it just go by itself. Okay, so let's add some ingredients. Don't worry about this. This right here is yuca, cassava. I'm boiling it because I have a sofrito over here that I made with onions, garlic. Of course, you know my garlic has to be fresh. Salt and pepper and a little bit of vinaigrette. It's like a vinaigrette sort of thing for the yuca that I'm going to add to it. Don't worry about my rice. It's right here. It's already done and perfect. It's wonderful. I'm going to give you a little advice, a little tip here. So if you find, let me put this down for a second. If you find that your rice is not completely cooked all the way through and it is still not done, so you can have a little bit of cup, just put a cup, a little bit of water, put just a little bit of salt, mix it well, and then sprinkle it and mix it and put it back and do it until it's tender. You know, it does happen to people, but it didn't happen to me. But if it just so happens that you make your rice and it's still kind of hard in the center, that's a tip that I use, or that's something that I do so that I can completely cook it through. So don't say, oh my gosh, I messed up this rice, I cannot cook it. Keep on doing that, but add the salt, because if you don't add the salt, the more water you add, the less flavor you will get. All right, so that's important. So that's why I say a little bit of salt, not a tons of salt, just a little bit, and just kind of sprinkle it all over, mix it, put it back in, put that foil in there, and it should be cooked. If it's one time doesn't do it a second time. It will do it. The same thing, if you want to do it in the microwave, sometimes it's hard, the rice is hard, do the same trick. Just put some water, sprinkle some water on it, and then put it in the microwave. You'll see it will be a little bit softer and more tender. Kind of like like you just made it. Okay, back to this. That's a little extra tip. I didn't charge for that. All right, so we have our pernil here, and we're going to crank it up a little bit because we're going to add red cooking wine, 1 cup, and give it a bath. So we give them a bath there. I like brown sugar. You can use regular sugar, but I do like my brown sugar. That's going to add a little bit of, that's a half a cup. We are also going to add 3 potatoes. I cut it in just like this big. So we're going to put it all over the place. And this is going to be cooking here until the potatoes have they're cooked through. You can see that the pork, this side here, pernil, it is very soft already. I'm going to cover it up one more time, and I'm going to add another half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm going to put it at a medium low. I put everything else except this, the salt, because I wanted to make sure that it needed it, and it does. So I'm going to do half a teaspoon of salt. And we'll cover again. So guys, this is done and ready to plate. Look how beautiful this is. Gorgeous. Super soft, super moist. Look. Cannot get any more tender than that. Rice, beautiful, on point. And I already have my little yuca. If you want to learn how to make the yuca, you have to let me know that you are interested so I can tell you how to do it. It's super simple, very delicious, and I think that in this case, it's gonna be a home run. So I'm gonna play this comes off like, look, don't have to struggle at all. Not even put that much pressure. Look at this. I mean, I didn't do too bad, right? It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Look how gorgeous this is. If you want that recipe for the yuca, I am more than happy to make it for you. I just thought that I made the roast pork and the con gris, and I just wanted to add something else to the plate. And yuca is just absolutely the most perfect thing to add to it. It is great. It looks delicious. I cannot wait to get a bite on this. And anyway, if you like to hear more recipes from me, would you please subscribe to my channel, give us thumbs up, and I will be seeing you next Saturday, not without me trying to taste this thing. I'm gonna take a bite. I cannot help it. Maybe this is too big, but I pretty much don't care.